What's up, everybody? Match the Gamer here, and today I am reviewing two Dragon Ball Super episodes, especially since I didn't get out my review for last week's episode, so it's going to be episodes 22 and 23. So first off, we'll cover episode 22. So the events of episode 22 were pretty simple, but there were a few plot holes in there that some people got upset over, namely Geekdom 101, which I frankly don't blame him. I understand his view. I even talked to him briefly on Twitter about it. And by briefly, I mean like literally one sentence. But anyways, so shout out to Geekdom in that regard. Anyways, yeah, check out his channel. But going forward, so in episode 22, the events had a few questionable things. You know, like Gotenks shows up, headbutts Tagoma in the nuts, and then after landing on the ground and bragging, as Gotenks normally does, suddenly he defuses. And that's where the first plot hole comes in that people complained about. There was no explanation as to why Gotenks defused so soon. Because literally the prior episode to episode 22, Goten and Trunks sense Frieza and decide, or no, they don't sense Frieza, they sense Tagoma and then fly. We didn't see him fuse prior to leaving, so that means at some point in between flying to Tagoma, flying from Bulma's house to Tagoma, they at some point stopped, did a fusion dance, fused, then flew the rest of the way there. But the issue is not entirely that. What the biggest issue about that is that the fusion's supposed to last for 30 minutes, so they're implying that it took them 30 minutes to fly there when we know Gotenks flew around the Earth, and I want to say he did it in Super Saiyan or even base form, and either way it doesn't really matter, but he flew around the Earth multiple times way before the fusion was even close to running out of time. So it just kind of calls into question what happened. The only possible explanation is maybe they fused and got distracted by something for a good portion of the 30 minutes, then fly there, and then headbutt them and defuse. That's the only thing I can figure, but they did not give an explanation in this episode, or even the next episode for that matter. So, I don't know. They may explain it later. I'm not going to try to give them too much crap on them in this regard, but it is possible to explain it later, but as of the moment, there is no explanation as to why, and it does not make any sense. So, while Tagoma's on the ground, of course, complaining over his nuts being headbutted by Gotenks, whom wasn't Super Saiyan when he did it, mind you. He's laying on the ground, or not really laying per se, he's more so hunched over with his face on the ground, grabbing his crotch, and then, lo and behold, Ginyu the Frog hops over, and then writes in an alien language, and of course Tagoma reads it, we kind of find out that it says, change. And by the way, for those of you wondering, I would love for Toriyama to release a book that teaches us not only how to speak these alien languages that we see written all over the Dragon Ball series, but how to write in it, etc., etc. I would love to be able to speak Namekian. I mean, people can speak Cleon and stuff like that. Why can't we learn how to speak Namekian and whatever freaking alien language freezes people write in, apparently? So, yeah, somebody hit up Toriyama for that if you got any connections to him. Anyways, so yeah, he writes it down. He writes down in this alien language. It says change, and he switches bodies with Tagoma. And now Ginyu is in Tagoma's body. Uh-oh. And this is where some people have a bit of an issue. They try to claim this is a plot hole. I frankly don't see this as a plot hole, because all it is adding a new rule to the ability. It's not really changing any pre-established rules. And what I'm talking about is the change technique that Ginyu uses. There was no rules established in the manga or in anime for that matter, or any other content that explicitly stated Ginyu had to say change in order to do it. In fact, we can even see that it didn't really change because if we go back to looking at like Namek or whatever, whenever he was like messing around with Bulma, obviously if he would have wrote down that alien language change, Bulma wouldn't have been able to read it, so she wouldn't have changed via that method, so it didn't change any pre-established rules. All it did was add on a rule. There was nothing stating prior to that Ginyu necessarily had to say change to initiate the change. So, of course, it also calls into question, well, what if somebody just happens to be standing in front of him and says change? Does the technique initiate then? And that is a good question, but currently, I'm going to make the assumption that there was, that it doesn't actually work like that. How it works is Ginyu is the one that more or less decides he wants to use the technique, but in order to initiate it, one or both parties one or the other member of the party has to say change in order for the technique to initiate. Once that occurs, the body change occurs. Of course, now Tagoma's in the frog body, and now Ginyu is in Tagoma's body. So from here on, we're just going to talk about Tagoma as Ginyu, to be clear. And of course, he comes up there, says, "I'm back, Frieza." Frieza's, of course, excited. And then they go down there let me see, excuse me. So Ginyu comes down there, easily hands all the Z Fighters their butts. And then Gohan gets up and tries to take on Ginyu, which he does get his butt handed to him a little bit more. And then Gohan says, "Alright, I'm going to have to transform to Super Saiyan," but he makes it abundantly clear, unlike in the movie where he says, "I can still go Super Saiyan, I think." In this, he says he can, but he can only maintain it for a short period of time. So, that really shows how much Gohan's been lapsing in his training. If he can barely maintain Super Saiyan anymore. Come on, Toriyama. I'm not saying you gotta make Gohan a badass again, man, but at least take the time to have Gohan get some training in so that way he can be useful as a fighter again. I mean, I'm not saying he's completely worthless right now. All I'm saying is if stuff like this happens and you're gonna have it to where Goku's gonna have to take a little extra time to get there for whatever reason, or Vegeta or whomever, you know, let Gohan have a chance, you know, be able to protect himself. But anyways, so yeah, Gohan easily takes out Ginyu by punching him in the gut in Super Saiyan. Then looks at Frieza, and of course Frieza has like a weird flashback to on Namek where he imagined the moment when Goku basically spared his life, and seeing Gohan basically doing the same thing to Ginyu, so he didn't like that. So Frieza says, "No, don't interfere, Ginyu, I'll take him on." And then Frieza starts pumping Gohan full of holes, and then Gohan falls to the ground, of course, and just before Gohan gets his head blasted and gets killed, Piccolo steps in front of Gohan, thus saving Gohan's life. But of course, Piccolo's now getting a big gaping hole in his chest, and he is not looking good. Meanwhile, back on planet Beerus, we find out where Goku and Vegeta have been sent to. And it is, of course, a place that is very similar to the hyperbolic time chamber in a lot of ways, but different in a lot of other ways as well. We find out that it's the gravity's intense there, time moves at a different pace there, and that the only way to move there is if you control your ki in the way that Whis told them to, by keeping it within their bodies and not letting it rapidly release, which they did manage to do. Once you do that, you can move freely there. And that's about all we know about the place, and I believe that covers episode 22. So now moving on to episode 23, which I literally just finished watching and enjoyed. I watched it on a website that basically more or less has it done within a couple of hours. Like, literally has it done subbing within a few hours. I'm not going to post it. All I can tell y'all is just look around. I'm sure you can find it. I'm not going to sit here and support piracy. In fact, as soon as Super gets released in English, or as soon as, like, say, Funimation starts having it subbed on their streaming service, I'm going to watch it through there. I will not watch it on the website I'm watching it on anymore if one of those two things happen. Because I am not a big supporter of piracy. If there's a payable way to watch it, I am watching it. And I'll probably explain in another video why I don't support piracy and why I think it's wrong. But that's another video for another day. So anyway, on to episode 23. So we open up and we kind of find out Piccolo's big gaping hole has confirmed that he is basically dead. And prior episode, everybody's wondering, okay, is this going to be the return of Rage Gohan, where Gohan gets up and whoops the crap out of Frieza or something? And of course, Gohan gets up, he's getting mad. I mean, he's sitting there, you can tell he's upset, and he's sitting there thinking, it's all my fault. If I would have just kept training like my father, I could have done something, but no, I didn't. I mean, you can tell it was really affecting him, it was eating at him. So I'm wondering if this is going to be some sort of setup Toriyama has for Gohan to maybe have Gohan go and train a little bit. Not necessarily going to make him Mr. Badass again, but it's probably going to set him up to where he'll be better use or something, you know, in like later parts of the series, like whenever they go into Universe 6 or something. We already know he's not going to be on Team Universe 7, but you know, maybe he'll be of some use in there somehow or another. Maybe as a you know, backup member for the team or something, I don't know. Anyways, going forward. So, yes, Gohan's got all this going on. And then we go over to Planet Beerus, where we find out Goku and Vegeta are still in this weird version of the Hyperbolic Time Chamber training. In fact, they've gotten so used to it, they are basically having a standard fight in base form between one another, and Whis is watching it. And we go over to Beerus, who is sitting in his chair, his lawn chair of sorts, outside, eating pizza, and enjoying it very much. It's good to know that me and Beerus have something in common. I like pizza, he likes pizza. I think we get along, but then if I ate his pizza, he'd probably kill me, so hopefully we like 2 different types of pizza. I'm joking, of course. I know Beerus isn't a real individual. I hope. Anyways, so he's eating the pizza, and he finishes it, and basically says, I would like more, and we says something along the lines of, we don't have any more, and this, of course, upsets Beerus, and he wants more, and then Whis explains that he can't produce more unless he has his staff. But his staff is currently in use, and it explains that you sent Goku and Vegeta to that place. It was your idea. You remember, he goes, I haven't forgotten. So basically, after a little back and forth between Whis and Beerus over it, Whis manifests his staff, which causes Goku and Vegeta to return back to planet Beerus from that dimension. And then Whis goes to spawn the pizza, but instead of pizza, he spawns the boxes, and there's no pizza in the boxes. We kind of find out that Goku and Vegeta both were snacking on it while in there to maintain their strength. To which they go, to which Whis goes, there's no pizza in the boxes, and Goku goes, yeah, that really saved our lives. That was good, more or less, saying they had to eat that in order to get by in there. And this pisses off Beerus, and Beerus gets up and chases Goku and Vegeta, who both say, shit, oh crap, and start running. And we see Beerus chasing them through the forest. While this is going on, we suddenly realizes he's got a message on his staff. He looks at it and sees that Bulma telling him, hey, I got this ice cream here for you if you get Goku and Vegeta back here. Because Frieza's attacking. Explaining everything in great detail. And then, of course, Beerus suddenly comes back after hearing the key terms of food and such, and he's looking at the food, thinks it's delicious, and Goku and Vegeta happen to be on the ground panting after being chased around by Beerus, and then they kind of find out, oh, Frieza's back, and Goku's like, that Frieza, and they learn everything. So they ask Whis to take him there, and Whis says it'll take approximately 23 minutes or something like that, and of course, Beerus says, don't you have instant transmission, Goku? Because Goku's like, well, that'll take too long. So Goku tries using instant transmission, but he can't lock on. And then Vegeta snaps at Goku saying, you need to try. So Goku's concentrating. And then we go back to Earth, and we see that Gohan's still complaining about not being able to do anything to save Piccolo. And then Frieza's sitting there saying, I'll kill all of you, and I'll even kill your family, Gohan. I mean, you see Gohan, he's just getting mad. And he starts shouting and powering up and everything. And, everybody's telling him to stop because he'll tear up his body. Even Frieza, not really caring. Frieza just pointing out, oh, you're tearing your body apart. So Gohan keeps powering up, and to the point where he transforms into Super Saiyan. And just when that happens and he reaches to a peak point, Goku detects it, has Vegeta grab his hand, and then he teleports to Earth. And Frieza proceeds to shoot a laser at Gohan, his little death beam or whatever, and then last second Goku appears and knocks it away. Of course, Gohan powering up like he did really did some damage to his body and put him into a weird, state of shock, I guess, or something. That's the only way I can describe it. His eyes weren't really like he was all there. He falls back and Goku grabs him. And they give Gohan a sensu beam to heal him. And then, of course, they talk about, Krillin goes, yeah, we still got one sensu beam left. So this implies that, of course, Goku will have that freaking cheap shot done on him again at some point to where they'll need to give him a sensu beam. But a lot of people are hoping that Vegeta will get the kill on Frieza this time. But that's still up in the air. But we do know, at the very least, the cheap shot will be done on Goku. And he'll be fixed by a sensu beam. So, yeah, it's up in the air. Anyways, going forward from there, what else was I going to cover? Oh, yeah. So, Frieza, of course, is mad about this. He wants to fight. He wants to fight Goku, and everything. They're talking. And then Ginyu comes down there and gets ready to talk crap. And then they realize, oh, that's Ginyu in Tagoma's body. So, Vegeta walks over there, or not walks, he basically does a real quick speed run at him or something. It's just real fast. And then blasts Ginyu and completely destroy him. So it's like, wow, after all these years, they kill Ginyu, the longest surviving Frieza henchman, okay? canonically speaking, that is the longest surviving Frieza henchman. They killed off Ginyu. So that was interesting, but they finally kill him off, and we come to find out that, okay, now Goku's like, I'm gonna take on Frieza, while you stay back. You already took on Ginyu, it's only fair, so Vegeta's like, fine, you know, all mad. And Frieza says, alright, I ain't gonna go easy on you this time, I'm gonna transform into my final form from the start. So Frieza transforms, kills off the remainder of his soldiers, only leaving, let me see, Sorbet, the short little tiny one with the ring that cheap shots Goku later. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Resurrection F. Anyways, so that happens, and the episode more or less ends there, right when Goku and Frieza are basically having their talk. Like, Frieza's like, aren't you going to transform into Super Saiyan? Goku says, I don't need to go that far. So he just powers up in base form, you know, to a certain extent. And that's about all we see in this episode. However, I am wondering something after the end of the episode. Like, it didn't occur to me till the end. It's like, okay, so this is something, one of those things that Toriyama may never explain, and that is, if Ginyu is in another person's body and he goes to Otherworld, regardless if he goes to Hell or not, assuming he keeps his body like Frieza did, does he go there in spirit form in his original body? Or does he go there in spirit form in the body of the person he took over? Like, is he going to go there looking like Tagoma, or is he going to go there looking like Ginyu? Is a big question. I've always wondered that. And unfortunately, we may never get an answer from Toriyama on that. So that might be a separate video in all its own. I'll have to see if maybe I can get some of the other big DBZ YouTubers in on it and discuss it. I mean, I'm not sure how much of a video we can make out of that. Maybe we can make it, include it in like a series of things Toriyama whenever explaining, like, I might turn that into a video series. Tell me if y'all be interested in me doing a series of videos where I will talk about things in a series that Toriyama may never explain. Like little things that deserve an explanation but aren't necessarily plot necessary for us to understand the plot. Stuff like that. I think I'll call it like things Toriyama will never explain. Something like that. You know. Anyways, I think that about covers it for this episode. Again, I'm sorry I didn't get the review out last week. Just a lot of stuff going on in my life. But hopefully everything will be back on schedule this week. Crossing my fingers. Anyways, make sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe. Check out my official Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch pages. I'll link down below in the description. Check out the Indiegogo project. That'll be at the end of this video. I'll be talking about it again. We will not be done talking about it until either the project's fully funded or until it's done, whichever comes first, you know, preferably it being fully funded, but yeah. So again, thanks for watching. Links down to the Indiegogo project will be down in the description of the video, along with links to various other things as usual. So thank y'all for watching, and yeah, peace. Also, I did forget to cover this in my review of episode 22 in the first half. All it was, that essentially, another thing they made a plot hole with is basically that Bulma remember Ginyu switched bodies with her, but the thing is, that didn't happen. That was filler. So, that becomes an issue, and I'm thinking about making a video where I need to ask some questions about the series and where it's going and some other things, but, just look forward to that video. You'll know what it is whenever it premieres. You'll hear me admit to it, but yeah, I think I got some things I need to discuss with my thoughts on Super as of late, and I have to disagree with some things that other DBZ YouTubers in the community have been saying about the series, but at the same time agree on other things as well. But you'll see what that is whenever that video comes out. But yeah, so yeah, another thing I forgot, yeah, so Bulma basically remembered Ginyu switching bodies with her, but that didn't happen. That was filler, so that becomes an issue. Anyways, yeah, thank y'all for watching again. Sorry I included this at the end. Hopefully you stay tuned to this point to hear it. So yeah, again, make sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe. Check out the official Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch pages. I'll link down below in the description. And stay tuned to the end to check out the Indiegogo project I'm working with. Thank you very much, and yeah, peace. Alright guys, thank you for staying tuned to the end if you did. This is the Indiegogo project I'm working with, Monstars Plush, Anime, Gaming, and Cosplay Addicts. And the goal of this project is to get $7,000 to have a plushie made of this fellow right here. If you're not familiar with him, he is the mascot of a company known as Gaijin USA Incorporated. And perhaps you're not familiar with that company, but maybe you're more familiar with one of their products. That product being, of course, the Starbots. If you're not familiar with the Starbots for whatever freaking reason, they sell these boxes at various conventions throughout the country and stuff, and what it basically is, in a simplified term, is an anime and gaming item mystery box type thing. It's just a box full of random anime and gaming items. Plushies, action figures, in some cases, clothing, like awesome t-shirts and stuff. Personally, something I wanted that I didn't get, should have got, because I didn't buy the bots, and didn't know it was in the bots. It was a robe themed after Goku's gi from Dragon Ball Z. There's also, some cases, been iPods and 3DSs in them too, so who knows, you might get lucky and get them. I mean, I don't know how often they put this awesome stuff in there, how many of them have them, but it's always just a awesome thing whenever you get one and open up and find something you like. Worst case scenario, if you get something you don't like, you can always take it and flip it on eBay if you want or something, I guess. But, whatever you want to do. But frankly, they're an awesome bots. I'm actually planning on buying one sometime here in the near future myself. And just to be clear, I am not sponsored by Gaijin USA and stuff. I'm not sponsored by the Starbots itself or any other thing. This is strictly me doing this because I'm working with the project. Anyways, that said, let's get into talking a bit more about the project. So, we currently have $600 raised for this project, which is only 9% funded, basically. 10 days left to reach the $7,000 goal, so please, people, I hate to sound like we're begging, okay, but please, help us out here. We greatly appreciate it, and to those of you that have given money so far, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate every penny you have given us. So, for those of you that may be a little hesitant about throwing a little money our way, we do have some awesome perks to maybe convince you to donate a specific amount, more or less, whatever. We just added this right here. It's a $400 perk. There's only 9 of these you can claim, so only 9. And if you do not contribute, you're out of luck on this, okay? So, $400 is called the Monthly Madness. You receive 1 Starbots a month. So, that is 1 box a month full of anime and gaming items for 12 months with this perk. This also includes free shipping. So, you don't got to pay a penny in regards to the shipping. All you got to do is drop $400. You get this thing, and that means for the next 12 months, you get a Starbots. 1 box a month. Can you imagine that? A random box comes in every month full of awesome items. I think it's a pretty good deal. I might try to drop a little on this perk, okay? Maybe y'all can beat me to it. Maybe none of y'all will get to it before I can. Who knows? Anyways, maybe you don't got $400 to drop, so maybe you want to contribute but can't throw, big bucks at us. Well, here's some other options. For $3, you get a button. 2 out of 1,000 have been claimed, and it's basically a $3 button here. I'll show you what the button looks like. It's got a picture of the mascot on it saying I donated. Pretty simple, right? No real big explanation needed on it. $19 will actually get you a plushie. 3 out of 400 have been claimed. If you donate $40, you get 2 of them. 3 out of 200 have been claimed. If you donate $90, you get 3 of them. 1 out of 100 have been claimed. Now, this is another big number item right here. If you donate a whopping $200, that is right, $200, you get the Megabots. 0 out of 35 have been claimed. And what the Megabots is, it's basically, as I quote here, it says, pledge this amount to get a mystery box containing a variety of anime and gaming items, including 4 Monster plush. So isn't that awesome, folks? So maybe those are just some perks that will convince you to maybe donate a little more, a little less, whatever. Either way, if you can't donate necessarily any of the amounts listed there, just throw a little bit of money into this. If you can donate $1, give $1. We greatly appreciate every bit you give. And if you can't give anything at all or half already for whatever reason, then at least help us out by spreading the word about this project throughout the internet. Go to forums, post it there, your social networking, Facebook, Twitter, whatever have you. If you're a YouTuber, throw some information out there. We greatly appreciate it. If you're whatever. We greatly appreciate whatever you can do. If you can just spread it around the internet, that would be greatly appreciated. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with the Monstars, here's a little interesting backstory on them. No one really knows where they came from. The crew of a cargo ship discovered them in unmarked bots that mysteriously appeared in their hold. They have been a part of the ship's crew ever since. There always seems to be more and more of them popping up. They love anime and video games to the point they try to eat geeky items when it's sighted. They can be found reading manga, playing games, and cosplaying when they are not helping Starla and her crew procure more rare items to transport for a fee. So, here's a basic spec sheet of what the Monstar will look like. It'll be blue like this right here. Here's some basic measurements and such. This is a original green prototype. It wouldn't be blue though, of course. We're not going to make it green. It's going to be blue. And then here's a blue version of the prototype. And as you can see between the differences here, this one's got more of the tail poking out than the original did. So basically you'll get this right here and it'll be awesome. And aside from the perk option up here, if this gets fully funded, we actually intend to sell these and throw these in our boxes to distribute to y'all, okay? So, maybe you get lucky and get one if the project's fully funded. Now, another thing, if this all works out perfectly, we do plan on doing a cosplay line of them. An example, of course, is this one right here in red, wearing a obvious reference to Link from The Legend of Zelda, based on how he's dressed. But that's only if all this works out, and the only way for all this to work out is if you guys contribute and help, and we greatly appreciate however you can help. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Links to this project will be down below in the description of the video. Also, link down to the website if you want to buy Starbots for whatever reason will be down in the description of the video. But make sure you throw a little money on this first before you go and buy an awesome bots over there. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe. Check out the official Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch pages. I'll link down below as well. And, yeah, peace! Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z/Kai, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super are all owned by Fuji TV, Toei Animation, Funimation, and Akira Toriyama. I do not claim to own any of these. The video and any images that appear were used under fair use.